Nimble and lethal. Kinda sounds like a really crappy 80s cop show, doesn't it? One's got an afro, the other's got a porno stash and a drive around in a big muscle car dealing with bad guys. But that's the description of the Ceti Lacera, which is fitting because it's also really powerful, like most of our melee weapons in game right now, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 melee weapons which still suck. Probably the best event reward right now, along with the new simulacrum, until they add some of the later on or the higher ranked arcanes. But the Ceti Lacera is our second Scarlet Spear event weapon that you can buy off Little Duck for 20,000 Scarlet credits. But is it worth the price? The pain and the suffering, the grind, the bugs, everything else, you decide. I think it's really good and more than worth it, but you make your own choice. Now the grind has improved a bit since yesterday's video and more patches are bound to roll out over the next few days, but there are still plenty of bugs and the event at times just for some reason stops working. But as compensation for the messed up reward system, Digital Extremes have gave out bonus Scarlet credits to everyone who has already ran the event. Basically, whatever you had already earned in the event, they gave the same amount to you again as a way of saying sorry. So I had just over 20,000 points, so I was given again just over 20,000 points as compensation, which allowed me to pick up the Ceti Lacera this morning, as well as the slightly less grey simulacrum, which looks pretty cool. Now, the Ceti Lacera is a Mastery Rank 12 weapon, right? So it's not exactly a new player friendly weapon. There are only 6 melee weapons in the whole game with a higher mastery rank than this. All incredibly powerful weapons like the Cronin Prime, Galatine Prime, Venka Prime, Gram Prime, Nankondi Prime and the Kuva Shield Egg. So the mastery rank puts the Ceti Lacera in pretty good company considering the amount of crazy damage that it can put out with the right build. Now it is an electric based bladed whip that also deals a solid amount of slash damage. It's got a fast attack speed, decent range, and it's a straight upgrade to the normal Lacera in every way. So if you like the Lacera, you'll love this. Maybe it's Lacera, is it? Not Lacera? Who cares? Same goes for the Myos. It's better than the Myos in some areas, but the Myos has better crit and better bleeds. The Ceti Lacera has a 40% status chance and a 20% crit chance, which means it's perfect for the good old trusty combo of Weeping Wounds, Blood Rush and of course Condition Overload as well, while stacking as much crit as you can with either Gladiator mods on the Deconstructor weapon for the Helios Sentinel, which can then put you into red crits, or by bringing a crit Ardaza Cravat, which gives you red crits guaranteed. Now this setup is pretty much the go-to mod setup for a lot of weapons in Warframe right now that have a good balance of crit and status, but if you prefer the old formula of running primed pressure point, then by all means go for that. If it works for you, who gives a shit, right? Now this is my own build. I'm using those 3 mods of Blood Rush, Weeping Wounds and Condition Overload. I've got crit damage mods in Organ Shatter, Berserker for attack speed, Primed Reach for more range. You could use another crit damage mod in there like Gladiator might if you want to. Like I said, I don't have Primed Pressure Point because once you have, I think it's 2 status effects on an enemy, then Condition Overload is doing more damage than what Pressure Point would be throwing out. With Weeping Wounds as well, you're stacking status chance, so you're going to guarantee status effects on enemies. And it is an electric weapon, so again, instant status effects for everyone, kind of like the Milky Bar Kid, they're on me. Now, I have no combo mod equipped because when I'm running melee weapons only, I use the Power Spike passive with Naramon, which slowly decays my combo meter. But if you don't have that Naramon passive unlocked, or if you don't run with Naramon and you prefer Zinuric, then you can easily just drop Drifting Contact into your build and have a build similar to this one, which will allow you to go on your merry way, killing everything in a mindless blend of numbers and particles. Now, the weapon is really good, again, like most melee weapons in the game right now with the right build. I think it's worth it more so than the Bazmoo, but you do you, okay? Like the video or don't, subscribe or don't, and as always, thanks very much for watching.